In America, we have this national holiday called the Super Bowl, our National Football Championship Day. And for me, it got ugly, as the team I wanted to win, the New England Patriots, did not. I grew up in Boston. It's going to get uglier still for me, as I had a bet with that New York Giants fanatic, Derek DeAngelis from Fastlane Daily, and his Giants won. We'll deal with the bet over at FLD, but the ugly stuck in my mind, and as such, became the theme for today's Shakedown. Ugly. Because in racing, we seem to be surrounded by it. F1, those step-nosed beaks. There are more new cars announced today, including Red Bull. And have you looked at the new Indycar? Ugly. World Rally Championship, where the ugly is in the fact that the FIA series has no promoter and by extension, no global TV. So this weekend's Rally Sweden has a problem. And I got an engine rumor for the ugly DeltaWing. But we can cheer ourselves with MotoGP and the news from their testing. They're going pretty fast. Get it? Pretty versus ugly? Hey, look, it's the best I can do because my mind is occupied fearing the evil Derek has planned for me with this Super Bowl bet payback. Gonna wait a bit before talking F1, but we can find ugly in this thing, the 2012 IndyCar. Fat fender flares, safety bumpers in the back, and I think it needs more rear wing. Oh yeah, it's slow, unbalanced, and tough to drive, which I guess offsets the ugly. Spoke with Dario Franchitti at Daytona about the new IndyCar. We spoke engine first. He races the Honda single turbo. Chevy and Lotus are twin turbos. He said it feels different from the old IndyCar V8 and from the really long ago kart Champ Car V8 turbos. But the drivers are embargoed to really comment. So I said, hey, at least I didn't ask you about the chassis. Which he responded, don't get me started on that, and gave me a shoulder bump. So Rubens Barrichello went to Sebring to test the IndyCar to keep his racing going, deciding on whether to race this ugly, not even sure it's fast, whatever. Which begs the question, which series do you think an accomplished F1 pilot like Rubens should move to that would not diminish his stature as a top caliber racing driver? Remember, Mansell went to kart. Ralph Schumacher and David Coulthard and many others went to DTM. And a ton of racers are in LMP sports car. Then Kimi to NASCAR? Well, the bottom line, would you respect Rubens if he does the IndyCar thing? And is IndyCar worthy of Rubens? Rally Sweden. I live in the business world, and sometimes I hate the business world, especially when it F's up the racing world. Somehow the FIA has lost control of the WRC promoter agreement and therefore the TV package to feed rallying to the fans across the world. North One Sport was the promoter, but they sold themselves to Converse Sports Initiatives, which is backed by one Vladimir Antonov. You may recognize this guy as he was attached to the funding for Spiker and trying to buy Saab, while Antonov was arrested on fraud charges. And by extension, that put CSI into what the Euros like to call administration, which I define as effing the FIA by no longer having a WRC promoter or TV. So the FIA tried to do a last-minute Hail Mary deal with an agency called Eurosport. But like the Patriots' final fling at the end of the Super Bowl, it too failed. So FIA told each rally, you got to set up your own TV deal if you want the fans to see the cars, the stars, and the action. But WRC is still online at Best of Rally Live videos. They're on YouTube. See, the internet saves all. Okay, MotoGP testing, getting ready for the April 8th season start. This year, the new 1000cc bikes, and it took Casey Stoner only 2 laps to go faster than the old 800 bikes and smash the lap record. Rossi seems happier with the new Ducati, the GP12, which now has a twin spar aluminum frame and an unstressed engine mount, just like his old Yamaha. Speaking of which, Lorenzo and Spies are still fast in their real Yamahas. Plus, all the MotoGP bikes do not look ugly. Here's an ugly with a soon-to-be happy ending. Drift ace Tyler Mcquarrie. His season-ending split with sponsor Falcon Tire had some rumored ugly elements. But we spoke with that Daytona, remember, and he gave us a little bit of a hint. Now, I can't say where Tyler is headed, but we know in just about any car he can cook. I got more ugly with another rumor. I hate the DeltaWing. Sorry, it hurts my eyes. But Michelin's the tire supplier, Marino Franchitti is the announced driver, but we're waiting for an engine. Well, I was told Ford turned them down, but Nissan will lend Delta a motor for the shakedown and then see how it goes before fully committing. I would have guessed Mazda. Okay, the F1 cars. By now you've seen the Lotus. Today, Sauber. Another beak, but they painted it black to hide it. I get it. Here's the Red Bull. Toro Rosso's later today. And you know what McLaren knows? The more I think about it, I think they're hiding their beak. We'll see what happens in testing. Okay, but are we getting distracted by the ugly? You know, the new specs are supposed to negate the big advantages of the double diffuser teams. The new Pirelli tires are supposed to only have a closer time differential between compounds to make for better racing and strategy. We have Kimi back. So maybe we need to forget about the ugly and focus on the speed and the racing to come. What do you think? Should racing be defined by performance only? Or do looks matter and winning ugly is still ugly and off-putting? By that I mean, look at NASCAR and this new Indycar. Well, now I have to go man up with Derek on the Super Bowl bet, and that's ugly.